Joining us today is Cardinal DiNardo from the great Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston, to talk about an exciting conference that's coming up in early November on the topic of outreach and involvement of people with disabilities. Cardinal DiNardo, thank you so much for being with us today.
Father Reed, it's a pleasure on my part to be with you and to speak about this remarkable group, the National Catholic Partnership on Persons with Disabilities.
Yeah, I have to ask you, you come from a great diocese in a great state. What's it like to be the host bishop, the host archdiocese?
Well, my first comment is the National Catholic Partnership itself has been around for many, many years. In fact, it had just a slightly different name around 1978 when the bishops of the United States first issued a document on persons with disabilities and the welcome that they should have as members of the Catholic Church here in our country. From that time, the partnership, which has always been relatively small in terms of staff, but because it has such a great liaison with the Bishops' Conference, it's been able to have effects beyond its membership or even its board. I've been honored to be a member of the board for over 10 years now, perhaps even longer. And I find the dedication of the partnership on a wide variety of levels of persons with disabilities is to make sure we are mindful in the church that persons with disabilities don't just want ramps. May I phrase it that way?
Sure.
What they want is the kind of inclusion because they are genuinely baptized, confirmed members of our Catholic communities, and have much to contribute and, of course, much to learn from others. But their ability to contribute needs to be recognized in terms of disabilities, or as the group likes to say, differently abled a lot than others of us are. I consider myself a member of the disabled community. I wear hearing aids, and without them I would be at a loss in terms of hearing. So, to my mind, our hosting of the conference in Houston, I believe it's the first time in a while we've had such a national conference. I'm very pleased and honored. We have some local pride that the Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston gets larger and larger every year. So we think, and the great state of Texas is always a great state of Texas, and we think coming down to Texas will be useful for the church here, useful for the church in the country, and above all, a good way to help advertise, in the best sense, this National Catholic Partnership.
I'm fascinated by the use of the word partnership. The theme that was chosen is God in us, the ultimate partnership. What is that meant to convey, that theme?
The point of the partnership from its inception, and by the way, it has grown in its interests to include now, for instance, autism and people with what we would call mental illness. God is the creator of all, loves all human beings, abled and disabled, if you will. So the most fundamental way we can look upon our relationship with God is that He has invited us into a partnership with Himself, and God does not look at whether we are disabled physically or mentally retarded or whatever may be what some people consider disability. This is particularly true in our own age when the utilitarian sensibility of treating human beings, let's say at the end of life, certainly at the beginning of life, it so marks us. And so therefore, negatively, we want to fight against that. Positively, we want to show how marvelous every human being is in partnership with God.
Absolutely, and we just have about a minute and a half left, but I have to ask you, and this is a pretty broad question, but for myself as a parish priest, for you as a diocesan bishop, what are some of the things that we can do better in dioceses and parishes to include people with disabilities?
The physical remaking of our parish sites is certainly important. I would think much of that is or has been done. But what about remaking our ability so that we would invite persons with disability to be involved in ministries?
Sure.
I think that that's particularly important. To listen to their voices not as something exotic, but as something genuine in the church that we listen to for our profit. I have found a great beauty, for instance, when I was in my original diocese of Pittsburgh, to have what we called the deaf choir. Most people say, what? But their signing of the liturgy together while the rest of us sang.
I see.
It's so beautiful. There are multiple possibilities, Father.
Absolutely. And if people want to know more about the conference, and I'm sure we're all welcome, aren't we, to the great state of Texas?
You all come down. Listen, we do things well in Texas, particularly in Galveston, Houston.
You certainly do. We were just recently at the Knights of Columbus Supreme
San Antonio,
Convention.
what a wonderful convention
It really was. Love the heat. Absolutely love the heat. And I know everybody's welcome. And the website is, as you see on the screen, ncpd.org. Cardinal Daniel DiNardo, thank you so much for being with us. I can't wait to tell Cardinal Sean O'Malley that I had a chance to chat with you.
Please give him my regards and thank you, Father Reed.
Okay, God bless. Thanks very much.